that I gave my child to you lot to take care of him, and he has come back to me disabled. Who is telling the truth? Who isn't telling the truth? What's happened to this child? The degree of the burns that this child was inflicted with is attempted murder.
Let me hold you down for real.
Hello, hi, it's your sis Mama Africa back again with another YouTube video. Today I'm bringing you the hottest tea in South Africa, and when I tell you this tea is hot, it's piping daddy.
Down for real.
So yeah, you read the title right. It says South African footballer Derby wife attempted murder scandal. Let's get into it. On the 7th of May 2022, an article was published by B Metro stating Kuda Mahachi's 4-year-old son's leg has been amputated due to the footballer scolding his son with boiling hot water. Now, from what I can see in the story so far, there's accusations being thrown left, right and centre, but we still don't know who hurt this child to the point of having his leg amputated. Now, before we get into the gist of the story, let me take you through the background of how this has supposedly taken place. Now, in the article, the 4-year-old son's mother stated that she had sent her son to South Africa to spend time with his father, as it had been a long time since they'd spent time, and she was genuinely happy to send her son over there. In the article, it stated that the mother, every day she called to check in on her son, as a normal mother should, and she was genuinely happy that he was getting along so well with his stepmother and his father. All of a sudden now, it states that the mother was unable to reach the father. She was also unable to reach the stepmother. Her calls were not being picked up. Her messages on WhatsApp weren't receiving double ticks anymore. Bum, bum, bum. The penny drops in the mother's ears. She thinks there's something not right here. Now, somehow during this time period, this child has been burnt. But before we get into that, the mother sent the son to South Africa. So as far as she's concerned, the son is in South Africa with his father. So on the 19th of April, the mother receives a call from her son's grandmother telling her to come and pick her son up, that he's at her house in Kountry Park in Zimbabwe. Now, in my head, I don't know what you're thinking, but a child was sent to South Africa. How is it he ends up in Zimbabwe and the mother who lives in Zimbabwe has not been made aware of his return? Let's leave that in the air. Now she now asked the grandmother, how is it he's in Zimbabwe? Like, the grandmother now stated that he's been in Zimbabwe since Thursday. This was on the 19th of April. She was called by the grandmother to tell her that her son is in Zim at her house in Kountry Park. The mother said, okay, I will come and pick him up the next day, seeing as she was occupied. Now, the grandmother supposedly insisted that she should come and pick her son up now. So the mother reported then again, she realized something was not right. As she enters the house, she sees her son wrapped up, bandaged around the head. She then takes off the blanket off her 4-year-old son to see, you know, to give him a hug and hold him. So the mother obviously supposedly takes off the blanket off the child to then see his burn on his leg. So the child was burned on his head, at the top of his head. I will insert the pictures somewhere over here, who knows. And he was also burnt on his leg. Now, the article also stated that the child was given to a Malachi. So a Malachi in Zim is basically somebody who's paid in Africa to transport a child from one place to another. Supposedly, the child had endured a 10-hour journey from South Africa to Zimbabwe with his inflictions. So by the time the mother has been made aware, this is April 19th, and he was supposedly in Zimbabwe on the Thursday. So April 19th is a Tuesday and the Thursday is the 14th, right? So he's been in Zimbabwe for at least 5 days at this point, and she hasn't been made aware of this. The child consequently was rushed to hospital afterwards, and due to the level of infection, there was pus coming out of his wound. The child has had to have his leg amputated, as in the child is now disabled due to this injury. That child had a dream of being a footballer just like his father, and now that dream is no longer possible for him. Now this news has taken the whole of Zimbabwe and South Africa by surprise, and not only Zimbabwe and South Africa, it's taken Derby by surprise, because a lot of us know this girl, a lot of us grew up with this girl, and we are shocked to believe that this could be true. And I genuinely hope it is not true, because we still have their side of the story to hear. We still have their accounts of what happened to hear. On their side, they are stating that the mother of the son was abusing him and starving the child, and he was scared of his mother and that he didn't want to live with her. And then the mother then counter argues this point by saying, well, if you had all these worries about his care in my hand, why is it you never tried to take full custody of your child? Why have you never fought for him in the correct way through the courts? It's not as if you don't have the money to do so. So the Mahachis claim that the child left South Africa intact without burns in the original article. Now later on, a page on Instagram called Zim Celeb has revealed screenshots between Mrs. Mahachi and a so-called acquaintance of her, giving her advice on how to treat wounds, which contradicts her original statements. So the article goes as follows. I'll put the screenshots here. So the first screenshot shows the wound, the child's wound, with a pile of salt. The woman advised to give the child Panadol and ibuprofen as it works for pain. Paracetamol, not Mahachi Panadol, states that my nanny applied salt to make it better, but he's still in pain. Now, this raises many concerns in my head, because one, that wound is not nyama to be pouring salt on it. In a hot country, you're literally curing meat. That's literally the opposite of what you should do to a wound. Now, that's a really serious case of concern. Is this the reason why the child's leg has ended up being amputated? Because salt was poured on an open wound, on a 3rd degree burn? Is it sense or is it nonsense? I don't really know. So the woman said to Mrs. Mahachi, take him to the doctor please, as you can see it helps when drying wounds. So Mrs. Mahachi then says, oh my god, looking at the pics, I feel sorry for him. Can I see his face now? My stepson is too naughty. I'm glad the nanny got there before it was too late. Please, what's the cream name? I heard that taking him to Waterfall, they take their time to attend. She goes, Baragwaf, please. That's a hospital in South Africa. They will help him quickly for free. They are fast and good. There's a burns unit for kids only. I'm not home. We'll send you everything. Mrs. Mahachi then replies saying, where is that? Sorry. We'll take him tonight when the dad comes back home from work. These are 3rd degree burns. At no point should you be waiting how many ever hours to take a child to a hospital. Not even an incompetent fool would wait 24 hours or 4 hours or 5. That's an emergency. You would take the child directly to hospital. If you can't drive, take a taxi. If you can't take a taxi, take baka. You know, in my country, we call them baka. You know the bus where you give them coins and you jump on, everybody's crowded, people are holding on. Take baka, take motorcycle, what? In one of the screenshots, Mrs. Mahachi stated, oh my god, it's gone completely and he's in pain. My nanny's gone till Sunday. I feel hopeless. Gonna wait for hubby to come home. We go together. You can't even tell he has burns. I don't know. Well, I'll leave you lot to figure out what you think from that. Now, the scars will go eventually. Good morning, how's your son? That's what the lady replies. Today it's gone worse. It's swollen and he's got blisters. No wonder you poured salt all over the wound. I mean, I guess it's the nanny's fault. Ugh. But salt on a wound. What school did you lot go to? Even if you don't go to school, like, this is not nyama. We're not seasoning. Hi? So he's got blisters. We had to put bandages. I think we made it worse. We used the first aid. No shit. I'm not laughing because it's a very sensitive topic, but no shit, you made it worse. No. Sherlock. Yesterday he had no blisters. Yes, you infected the wound with salt. Let's see, did you put Gelatite before applying Band-Aid? We got asked to remove it tomorrow when it dries out. Okay. So on the next side, she messages her back on the 15th of March. Now there's a big time difference. I don't know if you've not seen this big time difference, because this was on the 15th of March that she messaged him to say, messaged the same girl to say, my son is now healed. Thank you so much, mommy. God bless your kind heart. You are too nice. And the original messages are time stamped for the 5th of March. Now, this is where I'm thinking, dun, 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 there's more to the story than meets the eye. Because from a kind of narrow-minded perspective, I would be quick to say the Mahachis, let's throw the books at you. But from the 5th of March to the 19th of April, that's a very big time difference. So the child was originally burnt on the 5th of March in Zim. Now, how healed would he be from those burns? Or that's I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I can't really tell you that. But he was originally burnt on the 5th of March, and the mother was then. It was brought to her attention that he's in Zimbabwe on the 19th of April. Now, should they be hiding this, or should they have attempted to do this? I mean, I don't know. Would they not have sent him back to Zimbabwe to make her look liable for the burns a lot sooner? I don't know. So I don't think we can rule out anything as of yet with this case. I think it's a lot more complex than what meets the eye, and there's a lot more to be revealed from this. Now, the son is currently in Zimbabwe. He's with his mother. He is under police protection at the hospital because his security is a paramount, top priority. At this moment in time, he's not allowed to be seen by his father, supposedly, nor is he allowed to be seen by his stepmother. They're not allowed to interact with him in any way, shape or form. Now, sources also have an audio of this child saying that his mum was neglecting him. The child stated that apparently his mum was starving him and that she'd beat him. And this is an audio that Mrs. Mahachi actually recorded herself. Now, people are counter-arguing and they're not really trusting the credibility of the source, because it could be a case of Mrs. Mahachi set this up, or the Mahachi set this up to make the mum look accountable. Because at the end of the day, it's not that hard to make a 4-year-old who's scared, who's just been burnt with boiling water, say what you want him to say on audio, is it? Now, bearing in mind that we've got this huge time frame difference, the 5th of March to the 19th of April, at what point did this child actually get burnt? We still don't know. No one is able to give a construct explanation as to how the child ended up in Zimbabwe by himself, why he ended up in Zimbabwe by himself, and what happened to him in that interim time for him to get burnt. Now, on the Mahachi side, it sounds a bit suspect, because at the first point, he wasn't burnt. He left South Africa intact. Now it's a case of he was burnt, but his burns did not look anything as of what they're showing in these pictures. But right now we have a child whose leg has been cut off due to it being so infected. His scalp was burnt to, I don't even think it's 3rd-degree burns at this point. I think it's beyond 3rd-degree burns. And I think there's some explanation that needs to be had. But at this moment in time, all that we can see through these articles is family members attacking each other. We have Mr. Mahachi attacking his sister and his mother, saying that they're the ones responsible for burning him. We have them also attacking the mother, saying that she's the one neglecting the child. We also have the mother attacking them, saying that I gave my child to you lot to take care of him, and he has come back to me disabled. Who is telling the truth? Who isn't telling the truth? We don't know. No one is actually explaining what happened to this child. How did he end up getting burnt? How did he end up having scalding hot water around him? At this point, it's either a case of neglect or actual physical harm with intent to hurt this child. We don't know what it is. Plot twists, things that you should bear in mind. Mr. Mahachi's sisters have turned against what he did was wrong. They're disowning him for doing this. Now that raised suspicions in my mind, because I think when your own family turns against you, there's something that's not quite right there. I don't know if you'd agree. Now, people have a lot to say about Mrs. Mahachi's social media. It seems on social media that she hasn't really been shown much care for the situation that she's in at this moment. But recent news has shown her posting pictures of the 4-year-old son, her stepson, playing with her daughter, showing a lot of admiration. The child seems genuinely happy in their care. But again, is this just to make the public think that she's a good stepmother and that they are a good family? Or is this genuine love and care for this child? Because at not one point have I heard anybody show genuine concern for the child's well-being, except from the mum, who's showing obviously she wants justice for them, the pain that has been inflicted. Now, one thing I will say that is discrediting the Mahachi story at this moment in time is the flip-floppy nature of their story. At the start of the article, if you read through it, they were claiming that the son wasn't burned. Now, how does it go from the child wasn't burned to you now posting videos on your social media, the child bandaged up running around in the house in South Africa up and down? I don't know if he was forced to run around for the sake of the video, or if this child was genuinely running around. But how is it that the story changed from him being intact, leaving South Africa, to him being in South Africa with bandages and burns all over his body? Now, the Mahachis, one thing I will say is that they do need to come off social media and they need to get their story straight, because at this moment in time, as a member of the public, it doesn't seem to be adding up. But I will say this as well, it doesn't seem to be adding up on the mother's side as well, because the dates just don't make sense. But we shall soon see who is telling the truth. I think the saddest thing about the situation is that we are talking about a 4-year-old son. I know people are probably clicking this to see the scandal, because we, as human beings, we love scandals, but this is a 4-year-old child's life who has been impaired, that has been distorted. His dreams have been snatched away from him, because his dream was to be a footballer like his father, like Maradona, and now he can never be that. And I think that is truly disheartening and heartbreaking. And people, I think, whether or not they did this or didn't do this, whoever did do this needs to own up to this, because this is a child's life we're talking about. He deserves justice. He needs justice. And the courts and the justice system needs to prevail in this case, because if ever there was a wrong done unto a human being, that is what Mr. Mahachi's son has endured. He is a 4-year-old boy who has faced so much trauma. Not only was he burnt with scalding, boiling hot water, but he was also made to endure that pain on a 10-hour journey from South Africa to Zimbabwe. There was also salt poured onto his wounds after he was scalded. That is infliction upon infliction upon infliction upon infliction. This child deserves better, and I think the adults in this situation need to stop coming at each other, because it's not about them. Yes, your life is over for whoever's done it. Your life is over, that's for sure. But his life has also been distorted in such a terrible, in such a horrific way, and he deserves
now,
justice
as
for
this
that.
trial prevails, I will be updating, I will be revealing the latest information that is revealed on this case.
Please like, comment and subscribe if you want to hear more about this case, and if you want to hear more content like this from me. It's your sis Mama Africa, always coming to you with the real talks, with the real conversation. Please like, comment and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comment. Let me know what your views are. And yeah, stay tuned for the next video, but don't forget to subscribe. Click that subscribe button now. Thank you, love you.